Come on, don't be anorexic. Take an...
I love the way you make skipjack, daughter. Here's the man who is always seeking the truth. So speak, Jack Norm.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
Billy Jones is bizarre, Jack Norm. When Billy makes jokes, Billy laughs a lot. And Colio does not understand why. Colio does not understand Billy's jokes.
I would like to know more about Martin.
Martin? The husband of Sonia Jones. I do not know Martin.
What can you tell me about Clara?
I like Clara very much. Clara says hello to Colio. Clara smiles at Colio. Clara is a good woman.
I'm listening, Inspector. I want you to know that you can count on my total availability. I have a lot of free time now.
Sorry, but I understand nothing about architecture. I would like to have some things in this sketchbook explained.
The tower was designed according to all the rules of the art, and with respect for anti-seismic norms, according to its initial dimensions. It wasn't designed for Walter Jones's newest whims, you understand? Jones wanted to add 10 new floors to the tower. He asked me to do a study to reinforce the foundation with this unexpected additional burden, but I knew it was impossible. It was totally impossible. Today, the risk of it sinking is real.
What relations did you maintain with Jones?
Our points of view diverged, and our relationship became tense, to say the least. Today, I find myself trapped in this position as a manager. Oh, I've no doubt that I shouldn't have accepted the job, Norm.
What did you do after having received the orders to continue the construction from Jones?
I wasn't very reassured by the opinion of the experts, who didn't even take the trouble to come to Sagora, but I agreed to resume the construction anyway. Then, to strengthen the tower in order to save it, despite Jones's raving megalomania, Well, I was the only one who could do it. The tower, you see, it's my life's work, you understand?
Lorenzo, what did you do after receiving the new orders from Walter Jones asking you to stop the construction?
I was patient, Norm. I waited for Jones to come back to his senses and to finally understand my predictions about the instability of the tower. That came with this letter. Even if I don't like unfinished work, it was a reasonable decision.
This menu seems utterly appetizing. Tell me, what are we eating today?
The French chef was recently dismissed. So we're all counting on Clara's talent to elaborate a recipe for sunny-side-up eggs.
This tower on this wild island, far from everything, isn't it madness?
This pamphlet's nothing but hogwash. You're right to doubt it, Norm.
What luxury. For some, the world is all roses. But where did the staff go? I don't see them.
Well, all the staff of the tower was recently fired. And as much as I can, I'm obliged to ensure the continuity of all the functions while we await the passing of power.
Why did I find this in your things, Lorenzo? I expect to find this kind of paper in Nolan's office.
Nolan put me in charge of firing the employees. He just gave me the file that comes with it.
For what reason was the hotel staff fired?
Mr. Jones had hired these Maledivians to please Colio, and he thereby hoped to have him abandon the lawsuit he'd filed against Jones to drive him out of Segura. After that, he was quick to be rid of them. That's how Mr. Jones treated people. And now I'm faced with the maintenance of the tower on my shoulders alone.
What happened to the maintenance staff of the tower after that?
I don't know anything, Norm. All I know is that Colio's friends were fired like dirt. It's now been 15 days.
A hotel of this size, deprived of all its staff. It's a darn problem, I'd say.
Tell me about it, Norm. I think the way the friends of Old Man Colio were fired from here is utterly scandalous. And so, all the dirty work has fallen on me. I can't take care of the maintenance of this tower all by myself, can I? So, as Jones asked before he died, the heirs would only have the same standing as local personnel who'd been withdrawn. An excellent occasion to prove that they're not idlers and good-for-nothings. Each one had to contribute to the housework.
I don't understand why Walter Jones continued to construct the tower after this verdict.
I don't understand either. I knew that he was taking risks by continuing to build like this. But what do you want? I mean, I was his architect, not his attorney.
Walter Jones was cheated well and good. But did he appeal this judgment?
You have to know how to lose. Mr. Jones did not swindle.
Jones was not the type to take a verdict like this lying down. What's the status of the appeal?
Nolant is an old fox, and the natives of the island had better look out for the worst, in spite of the verdict that was given in their favor.
You're taking me for a ride, Mr. Battaglieri. Tell me now what you were doing in the rocks last night.
I'm not taking you for a ride. Let's see. Well, it is true that I was hiding in the rocks. On leaving the restaurant with Mr. Jones, I knew that he was going to meet Baina, and I hated seeing her with him. I said goodbye to Jones under the pretext that I absolutely had to collect the lobster pots that had been damaged by the storm the previous night. I took the elevator to go down to the first-floor lobby, and then I ran to the Belvedere. I followed Walter Jones on the dirt path of the Tortoise Belvedere. Then I hid in the rocks from where I saw him stop under the arbor, which was lit, not far from the cliff. It's the place where Baina meets Jones. Baina, who had seen Jones, joined him, and she walked behind his wheelchair. When they arrived at the edge of the cliff, Jones harassed Baina, who pushed him to defend herself. Well, I saw the wheelchair lurch forward and then teeter over the edge. Then I got out of my hiding place and I went close to the edge of the cliff and I saw Jones inert in his wheelchair amidst the rocks. His head was covered with blood and I thought that he was dead. I immediately came back to try to reassure poor Baina, Then I quickly left the place for fear of being seen. I went back up to my studio. Let me confide something in you, Norm. I'm ashamed I left without informing anyone. I only wanted to protect Baina and not get mixed up in all this.
The fingerprints on the wheelchair are those of Baina, the beautiful mute.
Look, Norm, that's no surprise. Baina often accompanied Walter Jones on his outings.
What was Hubert de Noland doing at the Belvedere of the Tortoise last night?
I now remember that I ran into him at the foot of the tower when I went back up after having tried to gather the lobster traps. He was in quite a rush and he didn't even say hello.
Some people here say that you are totally incompetent.
The tower was never completed, so obviously nothing works as it should.
Hubert de Noland treats you like an incompetent amateur.
Of course. But you should know, Inspector, that Noland and Jones were the only people responsible for the malfunctioning of this tower. And I've got proof of that.
So, tell me a little about Billy.
Billy's a gambler, Inspector, so he knows the real values of life. I hope he finds a way out of his financial problems soon.
I would like to know more about Martin.
Martin Abruzzi is haughty and disdainful, Inspector. He pretends to be a courteous and well-raised man, but I'm not fooled. I don't really care for him, to tell you the truth.
Jack, it's you. Why don't you answer my messages? Where are you?
Whoa, don't hang up, honey. I'll take your call in my room.
Sorry, I was very busy all day, darling. How are you?
You told me you'd be back this evening, Jack.
No, I can't. I really don't have a choice. I have a murder on my hands here, my sweetheart. It's a complicated case, and I don't think I'll be able to solve it quickly. I'm on an island, you see, and there are a few possible suspects. So as soon as I can, I'll hop on a plane and meet you again in Malibu. Okay, my beautiful? Yeah, me too. I love you.
Lorenzo, do you want to help me open this machine? My laundry is stuck inside and it's blocked.
Let's see. Can't be a big deal. The door's not opening. The lights are all off. Oh, okay. Well, it must be some problem with the electric supply. I'll take care of it, Sonia.
Some aspects of this business are still not clear for me, and your opinion might be precious. What can you tell me about Clara?
Clara is a sincere and courageous woman, Inspector. Moreover, a woman who loves a gambler can be nothing but a formidable woman.